Hello, I'm Sophie D'Souza and welcome to my channel, Sophie's Stained Glass, a channel dedicated to everything to do with architectural glass and sort of spreading the knowledge really. And I'm doing a video today which is one of my favourite types of video to make, which is a kind of through the keyhole into another stained glass artist's studio. And I'm here today with Marilia Carvalho. Yeah. And maybe we'll go through your gallery.
We do those at Christmas as well in red, like poinsettias.
Oh, nice.
But these are waiting to be decided whether they're going to hang like that, whether they're actually going to go like that. I've not quite decided with these yet. So they're just there for the moment. Oh, like that. Really.
These stands are very effective.
Yeah,
I do like them.
That's waiting to be collected.
And I love the way that you leave the gaps here.
Yeah.
That's really nice. And it just adds to the whole decorative
It does, and as long as they're strong enough, you have to be careful whether they're strong enough or not. But yeah, if they're strong enough, and then sometimes it works, quite well.
Well, you would just know how to do them, so they would be.
Yeah. And that's a copper foil piece there.
This one.
Yeah, that's copper foil.
Yeah.
I don't do a lot, but that one is, and so is that one.
This
roses.
One? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, those roses are copper foiled as well.
I love this piece because
that's my first piece.
Is it?
Yeah. That's my first piece that I did.
Where did you study?
I didn't really. I went to evening classes, and that's really how I started. But I tried to copy. I tried to fuse those. So this is the same shape as the agate, so that's a real agate.
Well, it's very effective because you've just got this one piece of agate. I mean, you've got these fossils as well, but everything is sort of referring back to it and sort of reinforcing it in the design and in the choice of glass. It's really brilliant.
Thank you.
Can't believe that's your first piece.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, I did that at college and I won a prize.
When was that then?
Quite a long time. It's going to be about 10 years ago, maybe 12. And in fact, I won a prize and I got some vouchers from John. And I went and got a sample set, the glass sample sets. Yeah, from that panel.
So where did you do your course?
It was I did at evening classes, adult education, with the David Worsley. He used to work for John Piper.
Right. Well, you were taught by the best then.
Yeah. So he was very good. The feathers, those peacock feathers, are really popular.
They are nice, aren't they? And the iridized glass works well in them. With the fused bits.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, everything you do's got a lot of interest. You know what I mean? It's you clearly don't take any shortcuts.
No, definitely not. No
and
shortcuts.
No, with all the wire work as well.
It takes whatever time it takes. Yeah.
I mean, something like this.
I mean, it looks quite simple.
Exactly. But we know it's not.
No, that is really not very simple.
No, it's not. And even the selecting of the glass.
Yeah, the colours.
To get that reminds me of when I was a kid. The first thing I did when I got my new pack of felt tips was I've got to rearrange the colours so that it flows.
And it is, isn't it, like that?
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. It's so nice. And again, it's the way you've chosen the glass. I mean, it's not always easy to use this.
No.
Is that they call it Baroque, this glass?
Yeah. Baroque.
It's not always easy to use this glass in a panel.
You've got to go with it, haven't you?
Yes, exactly. And I've used it. I've used this one where it had really heavy black, almost more black than clear. Under a tree. It was like the roots.
The roots, lovely.
Really nice.
You can really work with those. I mean, you might have it. I mean, I've got a blue and a green over there that I've had for a while, but you know, it will get used.
Yes.
You've just got to find the right.
Exactly, it's
job.
waiting for its home, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is.
And I love using the blue one because I do a lot
Yeah.
of water.
Yeah.
You know,
No, the blue is lovely, isn't it?
yeah, very nice. And I love the colours here because what this demonstrates is that a really subtle colour palette can be every bit as impactful as a strong colour palette.
Yeah.
And this is one of my favourite combinations.
Yeah,
This,
that's really nice, that handmade glass.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The pinky yellow, the gold,
Yeah.
the pink
Really
gold
nice
is
colours.
just so stunning.
And those pieces have been infused at the top to go with the agate. Yeah.
These.
And all the glass has been infused actually. So.
Which glass
This-
has been fused?
So
Oh, this, yes.
this has all been infused.
So that's a sort of medium clear. It's a coarse.
Frit.
It's a
Yeah,
coarse
yeah,
frit.
it's coarse frit.
Yeah,
And then just made the pieces,
yeah,
put the coarse frit on the bottom of the kiln, and then just lay a piece of glass on.
yeah.
Yeah.
And your
Because-
wire work and these lovely.
Yeah.
What's their proper name?
Oh, agates
These.
and ammonites.
Ammonites, right.
So they are real ammonites.
Yes.
Yeah, they're all.
Yeah, I can see they are.
Yeah. And they're usually a pair. And on
okay,
most
so
of
they've
them
been
you'll
split.
find, yeah.
Right.
So on most of the work you'll find that there's always two because they're usually a pair, and I don't like to take them away. So
No.
yeah, most of the time it's.
And it's obviously inspired this piece.
Yes, yeah. I think that one came first.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that one came first, and again, I cut into the kiln blanket. And
Did you?
Yeah, and then just lay a piece of glass.
And this is
on
sandblasting.
And that's sandblasted.
And was this flashed?
Yeah, yeah.
But that's not flashed,
no, that's
is it?
not. No.
So have you got a sandblaster?
No, but I've got a friend who's got one, so I use hers. Just try and make things interesting. Because
Well, you certainly do.
And these are, this is tiger's eye. This stone's tiger's eye, unpolished tiger's eye, and I just thought they were quite interesting.
No, they are. They are. I love it with the sort of little brightness at the top here.
Well, that one was actually, I made that for my kitchen.
This one here.
Yes, previous to here, because it had those patterns on. So I made, and those patterns were on a pair of curtains
Yeah.
in the kitchen. So I just took some of the designs.
Well, you get
There was-
inspirations from all sorts
yeah,
of
that
places,
sort
don't
of
you?
colour. Mm-hmm.
And what's interesting is that these pieces are displayed on a white wall, and they display really well actually.
Yes, they do.
Because sometimes you feel like you need to have light
Windows,
behind.
yeah.
And actually sometimes, depending what's outside the window, it doesn't always help, does it?
No, it doesn't. Especially with trees and things like
Trees.
that. Yeah, no, roads.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
No.
But they do show
Yeah.
really well.
And also they can be decorative pieces. I mean, these are here so that when people come in and they're looking for, say, a front door or whatever, they can be inspired. I mean,
Yes.
that one, the red
Yeah.
Art
Sort of
Deco one,
Macintosh.
is how those people, the drawing that I showed you earlier,
Yes.
that was what they saw
Yes.
and that's what they liked.
Yeah.
So I kind of drew
Yeah.
it from that. But they can be decorative pieces. They don't have to go anywhere. They
No.
can just be hung.
And the way they're displayed here with the
Mhm.
light above,
Mm-hmm.
it makes the textured glass
On
play on the
back of
wall. And that adds another element because the light then is bouncing off the back of the wall. It's really nice.
And the Baroque glass works
Yeah,
quite well,
it does,
doesn't
doesn't it?
Yeah.
I do like that.
Yeah.
Even in the
Oh,
clear,
yeah,
I
yeah.
really like it.
Yeah, I use it a lot. Yeah, I use a lot of that. So that's the sand. I will show you the sand. So that one. So this one here.
Yeah.
So this is called Talisker because we went to Talisker Bay in Scotland, and on the beach
Oh,
it
it's a
has
different colour.
white sand and black sand. So as the tide goes in and out, it leaves all these array of sort of ribbons on the beach. So I managed to get some white
Yes.
and some black. So and then I put them in the kiln. So I'll show you because they will move.
Oh wow. It's like an enormous egg timer.
It is, yeah. See, so
It's so
all the
brilliant.
sand just
So are these
moves
made in
around.
2 pieces?
Yes, they are.
And then you
Yeah.
put
To
them
be
back
honest,
in.
I don't actually know how it works.
Some kind of magic.
Yeah, how it works.
Yeah.
Sometimes, they work and they are quite big. Other times they're not as big. I mean, this has got a lot more granite, the white.
Yeah.
I have no idea whether that is one of the reasons why those bubbles are much bigger, whereas that is very, very fine.
There is a huge element of random with
Yes.
a kiln, isn't there? Yeah.
Yeah, there is. And I've had some that go so big that then the glass is so thin that you can't
Yes.
actually use.
I've had them so big, they're just so fragile.
Yeah, you can't then.
No.
Yeah. I mean, you could, but you'd be worried that something's going to happen.
And here's that tiny lid.
Yeah. Oh, yes, that's right.
Around
that's
your
that, yeah.
stones.
Mhm.
And you see, I wouldn't have known that was going to
Yeah. that's
be
the type.
wide enough to sort of edge that,
Yeah.
but it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's quite unique, your work, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you like
I do. It's very inspiring. But it's very your own,
Yeah, it is. And these are
Oh, there's the lovely blue.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah, and there's all sorts of blues in there as well. So this part is what I call the birthstone postcards. So each month, obviously, it's a different colour, birthstone colour. So I've made something that are just suited to people's birthdays and people's colours. And
So I'm looking mine up now.
what
May.
May. So that's
It's the top
emerald,
green
yeah.
one.
Yeah, so that's that green, yeah.
Well, they're very nice, actually.
So I just try and make them. And that's one of the shells that
Yes.
those ammonites.
Right.
So that works
yeah,
well.
that's
So it's
the ceramic stuff.
yeah. And they work well also for wedding anniversaries,
Of course.
And
Glass anniversary ruby.
Yeah, ruby.
And this is really nice. Is it on a mirror?
It's not on a mirror, it's on a foiled back.
Okay.
But some of them, I did do them on mirrors, but they become so heavy.
Do they?
So it's on a foiled back. So
you get it put on the...
I put it on the back. Yeah, on the back of the wood. Yeah, but it works quite well because all you want is a little bit of a shine.
Yeah,
behind,
it works really
isn't it?
well, really well. Because sometimes with the very heavy fused work, so little light is getting through that it can slightly deaden, but that just picks it up, doesn't it?
Yeah, from the back.
Yeah.
So
And your lovely coasters, beautiful gift ideas.
Yeah, well, and I do those cards, and they are really popular. Those cards.
Yeah, because they're a gift as well as a
That's
card.
right. Yeah, and sometimes
Perfect for Valentine's.
Yeah,
aren't they?
yeah. I did on Instagram. I did quite a lot of Valentine's thing,
Okay.
and they were really popular. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It's just, and so those are some of the things that we make on a fused workshop, because I mentioned we do it. That was the leaded one.
Yeah.
So these ones, sorry. We make those on a fused glass workshop, and then people can decide whether to have them framed or just have the hooks on, or or they can even put them on a little piece of wood.
So the course you went on, did it cover all these different techniques? The fused and the copper and the
not
lead?
really. Just David was a leader as well, so I've just learnt things over the years.
Yeah.
I mean, because I've always worked on my own.
Yeah.
I've always had, I'm not sure I've always had time, but I've learned different techniques and different. Yeah.
I think because I did the same, I learned on my own, and that's one of the reasons I started the channel, because it would have been really useful to me
If there was something like that.
Because you want to see how other people work. I mean, I still don't know whether I'm doing it right.
No, I think that.
Yeah.
I often think that because of this, and I think, I wonder if there's a different way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then you try and think, well, okay, which other way could it work?
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Because
definitely.
quite often you just get on with it. You don't actually question, is there another way of doing this? You know, and because I do all of this, I kind of make life quite hard for myself. You know, and there's a bit swearing sometimes when I'm on my
Really?
own.
I can't imagine that.
You might find this quite interesting because John and I were on a beach. It wasn't in the summer, it was probably sort of April time. And we're sitting on, and it wasn't that warm. So we're just sitting there, and on the rocks on the side, there was all this stuff just coming in and out. As the tide coming in and out. There were ropes, there were all sorts of fishing gear. So I looked and I thought, oh my God, it's all getting tangled on the stones and the rocks. I'm going to go and get some. So because we'd heard of all the bottles, single-use bottles, this, that, but I'd never heard about fishing gear.
No.
So I thought this must be a thing.
Yeah.
Not knowing anything, so I put it. We just happened to have a little bag, so I put some stuff in it. I thought I'm going to take this home and see what happens. And when I started googling it and finding out about it, it's actually called ghost gear, and it is one of the worst polluters.
Oh, look at that! Yes.
It's one of the worst polluters
That's
in the
awful,
sea. It is
isn't it?
absolutely awful.
And it comes from the fishing nets.
Yes, what they do is the fishing nets, in the old days, they were hemp.
Right.
So they used to cut them loose and they would just disintegrate. Well, they do exactly the same thing now. Because they're hundreds and hundreds of metres, these fishing nets, nobody brings them in. So they just cut them loose and that's what happens.
Wow.
They get tangled up everywhere. So I thought, okay, well, let me highlight. Having said I've highlighted, I haven't actually sent it anywhere. But so I highlighted it. So that's the fishing net, obviously that's the sea.
Yeah.
And all of the fibres that I got from the net, I've woven them through.
That's really interesting.
I've woven all of those through. And then at the bottom of the bag, because there was some sand from, I just made another little one of my bubbles. Yeah, and that's kind of another one to sort of highlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
The plastic.
the plastic that was found, some of the shells, and all, you know, the fibres that all different colours.
And you've foiled these.
Yes,
Yeah.
I foiled those.
Wow. Perhaps now I could ask you a bit about how you got started in business, doing this full time, because that's really interesting to people.
Yeah, well, I was doing small things because when I was at college, because it was an adult education, you know, we weren't really making windows or making panels.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but not windows. And John was already he'd been doing civil aluminium windows for a long time. And, so John was making windows, and then he said to me, could you make me a stained glass panel, because to fit in this particular window that I'm fitting? And I said, no, I couldn't do that. And he said, why not? I said, I can't actually make anything that fits anywhere. I said, I just make things.
Yeah.
You know, I don't make windows. And he said, why don't you make windows? You know, because you've been doing it for ages. I said, yeah, but it needs measurements. And he said, yeah, it does.
You need to keep the rain out.
And he said, well, if you can't do that, maybe you should just give it up.
Oh, it's a challenge.
So maybe you should just give it up. Because if you can't. So I thought, okay then. Yeah, so I did.
Brilliant.
So I did, and that's it. I just started making all sorts of things.
And how did you get work in?
We were in Norwood Green at the time, and we had a shop and a shop window, obviously, and just put things out in the window.
I
And
think
we used to stop and look, and so I've not really advertised. And then I did, you know, got the website done, but I wouldn't say that I've got a lot of business through the website.
No,
I think people just like to see what you do.
Yeah, it's quite helpful, I find. I say to people, have a look on the website, maybe you might see
Yeah.
something that either you like
Yeah.
or maybe would inspire you. It's a lovely website. I've had a look. It's very nice. But I think a lot of artists aren't particularly good at the whole self-promotion side of things.
That's got to be my worst nightmare.
Exactly,
It really has, because I think every time I look at this and I think I really ought to be doing something with it.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
You know, I ought to be doing something, and then I think, oh, I've got something else to do.
Yeah.
You know?
You
know, you just don't
Yeah.
do it. I mean, the idea it is there, you know, and I want to promote it. It's just the doing.
I know.
To be honest.
I think we're all a bit the same
Yeah.
if it's out of our comfort zone.
Yeah.
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 But you've been practicing for about 10 years, you say?
Yeah, probably about 15 now.
Yeah.
About 15.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
you've got such
Yeah.
a body of work, and it is very inspiring, you know. And this is a great space as well.
Yeah. This is
And you say you live upstairs.
Yeah, and at the back. Yeah.
Is everything so beautiful?
I'll show you later.
No.
You
Yeah,
decide.
No, it's
But
really
it's just
great.
a nice space,
It
isn't
is
it? Yeah.
very light,
Yeah.
and the way you've got this set up like a gallery,
Yeah.
it must be
Yeah.
very inspiring to your clients.
It is, yeah, and that's why I put the settee there as well. It's just kind of, I know it's a workspace, but it can be a nice workspace, can't it?
It's very feels very professional.
Cute.
I'd say. You know, inspires confidence, I'd say. So, yeah, no, it's great.
People
And
might think I know what I'm doing.
they might. Yeah. I always feel like that.
Yeah.
No, it's really lovely, very inspiring, and I hope it's been useful for people to just have a look and see the way somebody else does it. Because I mean, I've not seen a workshop stroke gallery like this before. So thank you very much for letting me come and nosy around and ask you lots of probing questions. Your work is wonderful.
Thank you.
And thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.